Thanks so much for going through with the divorce with Ben, Vanessa. From now on, you can leave him to me. I'll take good care of him for you. And Haley as well, of course. They both chose me instead of you, so I'll make sure to keep them happy in your stead.
Sure, you're very welcome to that, Sally. The divorce has been settled, and I got everything that I was supposed to get, so that's all done and out of the way now. You three can all have a good future together.
Of course we will. Unlike you, I'm not the kind of woman to get her man stolen from under her very nose.
Oh, really? Well, that's great for you then, isn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, I'm far more beautiful compared to you anyway. Ben is basically obsessed with me. He only has eyes for me now. I'm not gonna do something stupid to lose my husband like you did.
I don't care about someone like him. He is a cheater and a liar. I don't need a man like him in my life. But I am actually worried about Haley, so please do take care of her. She's been fine recently, but she's always been sick and frail ever since she was little.
Yeah, I know all about that. But don't worry, we'll get along well and I will look after her.
That'd be good if it goes so well. But now that a lot is changing in her life, you never know when she might get sick again. So really make sure that you do take care of her properly.
I told you that I know about all of it already. And though I don't work anymore, I did used to be a professional nurse, so I'm more than able to take care of her when she needs something. So you can stop telling me to do the obvious. I'm capable of looking after her when the time comes. More so than you ever were. You were disposed of by both your husband and your daughter. I don't need to be told anything by you.
I guess you're right. I really was abandoned by the two of them. Even putting Ben to the side, I was surprised that even Haley chose to go with the two of you over me.
You really are pathetic, aren't you? You threw away your career to stay at home and look after and care for her when she was sick for so many years. But even that wasn't enough to stop her from throwing you away at the first chance she got. Really, I wonder what the point of your life has even been up until now.
That's not something you need to worry yourself over. Anyway, like I said, the divorce is done with, and I moved all of my stuff out of the house too. Everything is with you now, so do what you like.
That's right. I'll be moving in as soon as I can and then starting my new life with my new family.
I just came back from college and all of your stuff is gone. Were you really serious about moving out after all? Yeah, of course I was. But are you really sure you're fine with not coming with me? If you're worried about the college fees, you don't have to. It won't be a problem. What? Do you really think that was why I decided to stay with Dad and Sally? Who in their right mind would go and live with a useless woman like you? It's your fault that I was born with this weak body and have had to struggle so much. Now that you've gotten the divorce, I don't ever want to see you again in my life. What? I'm a useless woman, you say? Yeah, you couldn't even give birth to me with a healthy body. I always got sick and had to go to the hospital so much as a kid. Then I always had to miss out on school and being with my friends. Because of you, my entire childhood was ruined, and it'll still affect me for the rest of my life. Of course, you're nothing more to me than the useless woman who gave birth to me. Quit messing around. Do you even know how much I worried about you every time you got sick and had those fevers? I would always stay with you while you slept and looked after you as much as you needed. And now you're gonna say these horrible things to me? Shut up! Because of you, I didn't get to have a normal high school life. And I also missed out on my first choice for college as well. Everything is your fault. All my health problems are your fault. What are you even talking about? I supported you for your exams however I could. I even hired you a private tutor to help you get extra support and taught you myself when I could as well. But you were the one who always made up some excuse and shied away from your studies. What? That didn't happen. Don't try and pass the blame on to me. It happened all the time. You would say that you were feeling drowsy from the medicine you had and spend most of the day just lazing around or napping. Or you'd study for just an hour, then say you were feeling sick and running off to do something else. It might be harsh, but it's your own fault that you missed out on your first choice school. You can't just use your health issues as an excuse forever, you know. You need to be able to overcome these challenges and not use them for your convenience. Shut up! I don't want to hear any of that from you. It's all your fault in the end. None of this would have been an issue if I was born a healthy kid. Could have studied hard and gotten into my school of choice as well. There would have been no problems for me at all. You had no right to blame me or say anything to me at all. Haley, you don't even know what you're saying right now. Yes, I do. I'm telling you that I never want to see you again. Just seeing your face makes me feel sick.
Hello, Vanessa. It's really been quite a while, hasn't it? I hope you've been doing well since we last spoke.
Yeah, I've been doing better than ever. Thanks to you, I was able to distance myself from my cheating husband and my selfish daughter. Each day has been better than the last.
Oh, well, if you can be that sarcastic and snarky, then you must be doing all right. Good for you. If that's the case, then it looks like the transplant will be able to work well, too.
Transplant? What are you talking about? You text me after 5 years of nothing and start with something that makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, the reason I'm texting you is because there's something very important that I need to tell you. It's very important for you as well, I mean. It's about your daughter, Haley. Actually, just yesterday, she was in the hospital doing some tests because her health wasn't so good. And it turns out that she had kidney disease.
What? You mean her kidneys are failing?
Yeah, she graduated college and then got a job and everything was working out so well for her. But she was feeling unwell and went in for a checkup and they found that she had serious issues with her kidneys. Unfortunately, it's already progressed to a pretty severe stage as well, and it looks like a transplant is really the only way to deal with this.
What? I don't believe it. I thought that she'd been getting better and better, and now all of a sudden she'd been diagnosed with something that serious?
It really is sad, isn't it? The poor girl. She was working fine and had no issues before now. But now she has to go on dialysis and can't even go to work because she has to stay in the hospital.
I see. My grandparents also had to go on dialysis before, so I know that it can be really tough. It's not an easy form of treatment at all.
Not only that, but Haley even has a guy that she's seeing who she probably would end up marrying soon enough. That's the way the relationship seems to be going. And he's even the son of a really successful businessman. But now, because of this whole kidney thing, she might even lose her chance at having a happy marriage.
Just calm down a second, please, Sally. I know that kidney disease can be a very serious thing, but since you are a nurse, you should understand, right? With dialysis and medication, people can still live long lives with the condition. It's not a death sentence by any means. And why would she lose her boyfriend because of this?
There's no way that things would go all that smoothly. Why would he want to get married to someone who has to spend half the week in the hospital on dialysis? That's not the right kind of woman for a guy who'll be the CEO of a successful business once his dad passes it on to him. I'm sure the relationship will be done the moment he finds out about it.
What? I don't think that's very realistic of you. And if he really is the kind of person to do that, then maybe she shouldn't end up with him in the first place.
Don't be ridiculous. If she marries him, then the rest of her life will be easy and financially stable. She can't pass up a chance like this.
But even if this wasn't happening now, there's always the chance that she'll get sick later on after they marry anyway. Her health issues aren't something that can be kept a secret forever.
No one is asking for your opinion on her relationship, okay? She needs a transplant so that she can live a normal life without having to be in and out of the hospital all the time. And then she definitely won't have to worry about her man leaving her over this. And that's exactly what I'm messaging you about today. You'll donate one of your kidneys for her, won't you?
What? I have to be the donor.
The doctor said that I'd also be able to be the donor, but I don't want to be parting with an important organ like that. I'm too scared. I just can't do it. But I thought that it would also make more sense for her biological mother to give it to her anyway.
What? Why would that make more sense?
They say that kidney disease can be passed down genetically, so it's partially your fault that she has it. So you need to take responsibility for it and make it right like this. And since she is your daughter, then you shouldn't have any qualms about it either.
I don't want to do anything like that. Besides, she's not my daughter anyway. You just said that the doctor said that you could also be the donor, so you need to take responsibility since you're now her mother and do it instead.
I told you already that I don't want to do that. She's not my real daughter anyway. Ben just brought her into our relationship. Why should I have to be a donor for a kid who isn't even mine?
But when you were getting married to Ben and I was leaving, you told me that you'd become her mother and make sure to look after her, didn't you?
And that's why I'm looking for a donor for her so we don't have to be on an endless waiting list. This is my way of helping her as her stepmom. It's fine, so you just need to accept this and not complain about everything so much. I can go ahead and tell the doctors that I found a donor, right?
No, you absolutely cannot say that. Don't get me involved in this at all. It has nothing to do with me.
What? How can you say that? You are Haley's mother.
No, I'm not. You are.
Oh, shut up with that already. If you don't help her out and become a donor, then her entire future is going to go up in flames. She's going to lose her chance to marry this guy, and then she'll have a hard life being in and out of the hospital on dialysis as well. Are you saying that you're okay with being the reason that she'll have to live such a miserable life day to day?
Of course I don't want her to have to go through anything like that. But actually, what is Haley saying about all of this? When I was getting the divorce, she was pretty anti-me and told me to never show my face in front of her again. But now she'd accept a kidney from me after 5 years of no contact?
Of course she would. She said that she was waiting for you to hurry up and do it already. It's one way that you could actually be useful to her. Remember that it's mainly your fault that she's in this situation in the first place, so you need to do something about it.
What?
Oh, and by the way, once you do donate your kidney, make sure to not say anything to anyone else about it, especially to Ben. We plan on acting like I was the one who gave it to her. That way, we can continue living as a happy family, all three of us together. And then she can get married and move on with her life as well.
So, you just want to get all the benefits without any of the drawbacks. You won't sacrifice a single thing for your daughter.
Why should I when you are around to do it? And it'll be easier to explain to other people that way as well. I am her mother, so no one is going to doubt that I was the one who gave her a kidney. So make sure to come by to the hospital so they can check how compatible you two are. You might have been abandoned by her and Ben in quite a pathetic way, but it doesn't change the fact that you are still her real mom and not me. Anything should be okay for your daughter, right?
If that's the case, then why not go and ask her biological mom?
Wait, what?
I mean, if a mother should do anything for her own daughter, then you should go and tell that to Haley's biological mom. Although she didn't get abandoned by Ben and Haley, but left on her own.
Seriously? Hold on a second. What are you on about right now? What do you mean I should ask her biological mother? That's you, isn't it?
No. I raised her from a young enough age, but I didn't give birth to her. She isn't my actual daughter, and I'm not her biological mother. So, if you're looking for a donor, you should really go and try to find her instead of me. I don't have her contact or anything, but if you ask Ben, he might be able to find her number for you.
Hold on. I don't understand. What's going on right now? If you just raised her, do you mean that she's from Ben's previous marriage? You mean that he was married 2 times before me?
Well, it seems like he still didn't say anything to you or to Haley about any of this. He said that he was going to tell her everything once she turned 21, but I guess not. He probably decided that it was too much of a pain, and since he was now the only one who knew, why bother saying anything?
Then tell me properly what's going on right now. Just who is Haley's mom then?
Like you said, she's Ben's first wife. She got really depressed right after she gave birth to Haley, and I heard that they divorced almost straight after because of it.
Really? because of that.
Something like that, yeah. You can ask Ben if you want the details, though. Then I met Ben myself and we ended up getting married. By that point, Haley was around 5 years old or so, I guess. But it was when she was really young that she had the most issues with her health. She was always in the hospital or at home resting in bed. She doesn't have that many memories of that time and can't remember anything about her real mom anyway.
So that's why she didn't know anything about this. She has thought that you were her real mom all along.
Yeah, that's more or less right, I guess. I wanted to tell her the whole story earlier myself, but Ben was really against it. He kept saying that we should wait until she was in better health so that she wasn't too shocked by the news. But every time it was the same excuse, and in the end we never ended up telling her anything.
Oh my god, I don't believe this!
Maybe you can tell all of this to Haley for me then. Tell her sorry, but I guess I'm going to be useless to her again. I'm not going to hand over my kidney to her for this. And then the two of you should try and find where her real mom is and ask her to be the donor instead. That would be the best thing to do, in my opinion.
Mom, is it really true? Is what Dad said the truth? You're not actually my real mom?
That's right, we're not actually related at all. I just raised you as a child as your stepmom.
So, even though we weren't related, you still spent all that time looking after me and caring for me when I was sick?
Of course I did. We might not have been related by blood, but you were still my daughter. At least that's how I thought of you. I wanted to do all I could to make sure that you could live as good a life as possible despite your health problems. I gave up my career to stay at home and be there with you whenever you needed me. I sacrificed everything and lived my life just for you.
I can't believe this. You did all that for me?
And it seemed like my hard work was paying off too. By the time you were in middle school, you weren't having to go to the doctors anywhere near as often as you used to when you were little. And you were able to go to school as normal, and I was really happy about it. But you blamed me for being behind in your studies and missing out on things that other kids were able to do. You threw things at me and even tried to attack me once or twice. They say that kids never understand their parents and what they do for them, but I have never felt so empty as I did in those moments.
Hold on. Those moments were just that I was so overwhelmed.
Okay, sure, whatever you say. Anyway, good luck with all the kidney things. I hope you find a donor in the end. Since you heard about this from Ben already, I'm guessing that you were able to find your real mom's number from him too. Even though the two of you are mother and daughter, it doesn't always mean that transplants will be a success. Let's hope it all goes well in that department.
Hold on a minute, Mom. Please don't just cut this conversation short here. There's more that I need to tell you, so just hear me out, okay?
What is it? What do you need to tell me now?
You see, it's about my biological mom. I was able to get her number from Dad, and I got in contact with her like you said. But the thing is, when I told her my situation, she turned me down immediately. She didn't want to help me at all.
Oh, really? That's a shame, isn't it?
She said that it's been almost 20 years since we even last met, and she doesn't think of me as her daughter at all. And that she wasn't just gonna be a donor for some random girl who she doesn't know or care about.
Then why don't you just get it from your dad? He is also your biological parent, so that should be fine as well, right?
He was also against it. He said that he's busy with work and he doesn't have time to do any tests or have surgery. He also said that it's the mom's job to look after the kids in times like these, so that I needed to ask you instead of him.
So you've been turned down by both your real parents. I can understand the point of view of your mom, since she really doesn't have anything to do with you at all. But really, Ben is a horrible guy, isn't he? Work should be no excuse for that.
But please, Mom, I'm begging you now. I don't have anyone else I can turn to. I'll do anything you want me to, but please be the donor for me.
I'm not gonna do anything like that. I'm not your real mom, and you told me yourself that I am just a useless woman who ruined your life. Why should I go and be a donor for you now? I'm really sorry that I said that at that time. It's thanks to you that I was able to get healthier and feel better, and then I turned on you and blamed you for my health. I know that I used my health as an excuse to get out of doing some things that I didn't want to do, and then made it out to be your fault later on. I'm so sorry that I did all of that. I really regret that I did all of that, but I realized that I was wrong to do it.
Listen here, Haley.
Please, I want to get married to my boyfriend, and I want to keep working at the job that I found. I want to be able to live a normal life that I was so close to getting. But I don't have much time now to salvage it, and I need your help. Please, don't abandon me now in my time of need. I'm really desperate here.
Well, you were the one who abandoned me first, weren't you?
I can sympathize with you for being sick and needing help, but I have no need or duty to help you out in this case. You're joking, right? You're really not going to help me now? Even though we've been together for so long and you raised me from when I was just a little girl? You always were the one who cared for my health more than anyone else. But now you're just going to forget about me and abandon me as I am? I hope you can find a donor to solve your problems soon. But bye now. There's nothing more for me to say.
Please, Vanessa, let's work together on it this time. I'm already at my limit looking after Haley.
What do you mean?
After what happened a few months ago, Haley just gave up on everything. She said that everything is over and doesn't care about herself at all. She started drinking and eating things that she shouldn't. And then, of course, before we knew it, her condition got worse. She's on dialysis and it's getting worse all the time.
Oh, so she's on it already?
Exactly. And I have to be the one to take her to the hospital and visit her and bring her back. Now I can't do anything like go to the shops or for lunch with friends or travel at all. And Haley's always in a bad mood and treats me badly now too. I can't live like this anymore. I just can't.
I don't want to hear such selfish complaining from you. You're her mom and it's your job to look after her. Just put up with it and do what you need to. Stay by her side and look after her however best you can.
I can't do it anymore on my own. So let's work together on this. We can take turns looking after her. I mean, you were also her stepmom for a long time too.
Are you kidding me?
Ben also agrees with this too. He said that he'll pay you whatever you want to come and help out with Haley. Doesn't that sound good for you as well? And I know that Haley will be happy with it. She's used to you looking after her and you know her better than anyone as well. Please, I really need your help. So you'll help me out with this, right?
Okay, sure. Then you can get $1 million ready for me, right?
What do you mean by that?
You said that Ben will pay me whatever I want to come and help out with Haley, right? Well, that's how much I want in exchange for looking after her. If you can't get that together, though, it'll be a no for me.
I don't need you to be messing around right now. I'm talking to you seriously here. Don't come up with stupid propositions like $1 million.
I'm also being serious with you right now. It's tiring both physically and mentally to look after a sick person, especially when they aren't very cooperative with you. I did it for free all this time, but that was because I was her mother and I loved her. But that ship has sailed, and it really is supposed to be your responsibility now. So, unless you can get me that kind of money, I'm not going to go along with what you say.
But $1 million is just too crazy for anyone to pay.
If it's for your daughter, you should be willing to do anything or pay anything for them, right? You can text me again once you have the money together and then we'll talk. If you can get $1 million together, then I'll look after her and do whatever else it is that you want me to do. After that, it goes without saying that they didn't prepare $1 million for me, and of course I didn't expect them to do that. There was a reason I named such an insane amount. But Haley continued with her treatment, and her relationship with Sally got worse and worse, and she was always in a bad mood, and Sally felt like her own life was falling apart. In the end, Haley had to leave her job because she'd been absent for such a long time, and now more or less stays inside unless she has to go to the hospital for treatment. Of course, she also had to tell her boyfriend what was going on, and she once again tried to blame things on me, saying that I refused to be a donor for her. I was actually contacted by her boyfriend Liam, and he asked me about it and why I wouldn't help my daughter out, and I explained the whole situation to him. In the end, he did leave her, but it wasn't because she was sick, but because of how she treated me while I was her stepmom and during the divorce, but still had the nerve to call me after 5 years and demand that I be a donor for her. I never wished anything bad to happen to Haley, but I'm no longer responsible for her, and it has nothing to do with me in general. She continues to blame me, even though there are at least 2 people in her life, Sally and Ben, who it would make more sense for them to be her donor than for me. I do still hope that she makes it through okay, but I will not get myself involved and let things work themselves out as they will. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.